Nepal's leader has broken with tradition by making China and not India his first foreign trip.
Wrong. Nepal's Prime Minister, Mr. KP Sharma Oli, traveled to United States of America even before traveling to China, the People's Republic of China. You have also talked about the Nepal's Prime Minister Oli's meeting with the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the United Nations General Assembly sidelines.
Although they met, on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in September.
You have also broken your statement yourself. But if you are talking about the first foreign bilateral trip by Nepali Prime Minister to China, even before India, then you have to note that Mr. KP Sharma Oli is not the first one. I'll give you one example. In 1956, Nepal's Prime Minister Tangka Prasad Acharya traveled to China in 1956 September. And after coming back from China, he traveled to India. And he traveled to India in 1956 December. So if you want to have documents of the historical travels by Nepali Prime Minister, this book can be very useful.
The BRI, the only deal that they have got is they have agreed on a financial setup, and that is very vague, that is very secretive. Nothing about the deal has come out. So I would say still it's wait and watch.
Wrong. Your interview was published in December 12, and 2 days ago in December 10, Nepal's Ministry of Foreign Affairs has already made it public. So if you want to read the BRI document, this is the news and this is the document. So if you're talking about Nepal, better to have a look at Nepali media and better to have a look at the Nepali social media. Then only you can claim this something has happened or something has not happened.
I would say the Nepali Congress Party is one of the oldest political parties in Nepal. They are very nationalist. At the same time, they have seen China more than the UML, KP Oli's party. They understand Nepalese politics better, and also towards the national interest they are working. And they are also mostly pro-India.
Wrong. You cannot frame Nepal's oldest surviving democratic political party, Nepali Congress, as the mostly pro-India. I don't frame any political party in Nepal like they are pro-India, pro-Chinese, something like that. It is framed from outside Nepal. If you look at the document of the political party, if you look at the history of the political party, they are not pro-India, pro-China or something like that. Yes, inside the political party, there might be some leaders who are extremely pro-Chinese, extremely pro-Indian, extremely pro-Americans or something like that. But politically and diplomatically, they are pro-Nepal. To talk about the Nepali Congress, I'll give you one example, right? It was the Prime Minister from Nepali Congress who advocated for the inclusion of People's Republic of China in the United Nations. It was the Prime Minister from Nepali Congress Party that helped establish the Embassy of China in Kathmandu. It was the Prime Minister from the Nepali Congress who signed the Peace and Friendship Treaty with China. And it was the Nepali Congress Foreign Minister who signed the first BRI agreement in 2017. And it is during the time of the Nepali Congress Foreign Minister, Nepal signed another BRI framework agreement this year. So you cannot frame the Congress as a the pro-Indian party or something like that, or communist as a pro-Chinese party. For this you have to look at the Nepal's politics from very closely. Then only you can say.
But I would say the way his political approach has been towards China, that he is a pro-China Prime Minister.
Yes, he is.
You called Nepali Congress as a pro-Indian party, and now you are calling Mr. KP Sharma Oli a pro-Chinese guy. But before saying this, you have to remember that Mr. KP Sharma Oli waited along for the invitation from India. He did not get invitation, if you are to believe the news in the Hindu newspaper from India. And when the same question is asked by the moderator in your Taiwan Talks show,
Delhi did not extend an invitation.
You gave the answer like that.
He has a busy calendar. The Indian Prime Minister had a busy calendar. From my understanding, he was visiting other countries, like he was going to G20 in Brazil, and also India had local elections in the state of Maharashtra and Jharkhand. So that was one of the reasons that new Prime Minister Modi could not give time. But since Oli had to take a visit, he wanted to go somewhere, so he chose to go to China.
Right.
Well, Nepal has been under sanctions by India for 2 times.
Wrong, wrong, and wrong. If you are talking about the Indian sanctions to Nepal, or if you are talking about the Indian blockades to Nepal, there were 4 different blockades to Nepal in 1962, 1971, from 1970, 1989, and 2015, right? But if you look at the military perspective, there was a military blockade to Nepal in 2005, right? So there is a book called Nepal's Instability Conundrum, written by Nepal's veteran army officers, and he has talked extensively about the 2005 military blockade to Nepal by India. So you cannot say that India had 2 sanctions or something like that.
By the Indian sides to include more Terai people. Terai people are the descendants of the Indian people living in the southern part of Nepal, to have more political rights in the constitution. So they just unofficially blockade all the oils and fuels into Nepal, and that gave Nepal like 3 months of big troubles.
Wrong, 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 and wrong. Indian blockade to Nepal was not for 3 months, it was for more than 3 months. It was 6 months, right? So if you look at the various news portals like this and these, research paper, and even if you, surf the, content in the Wikipedia, you can find that Indian blockade to Nepal in 2015 was for 6 months, okay? So before concluding our video, I have a simple request to you guys. You are talking about Nepal, you are talking about the Nepal's foreign policy, you are talking about Nepal's choice or something like that, but you are not inviting Nepali expert, right? You are inviting the Chinese guy, you are inviting Indian guy, and you are talking about Nepal, So this is not fair. So that's why you have so many mistakes. That's why you have so many misinformation about Nepal. So next time you talk about Nepal, please invite a Nepali expert so that you will have less misinformation, you will have less errors and less blunders. Thank you so much.